Hello, I'm Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, loved ones in long-term care need someone on their side, and that someone is here today. Get ready to do some fancy finger work. Then, don't shortchange yourself. We'll invest some time in teaching money management skills. Plus, dead men do tell tales. A Civil War soldier travels through time for civil discourse at our table. And a new technique to maximize your retirement benefits.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. In the past on Golden Opportunities, if you ever have a problem with the care you or a loved one has received in a nursing home or with at-home care, we've mentioned that you should contact the Long-Term Care Ombudsman for help. Today we have two people from that organization to personally share the many ways that they can help you and advocate for you. Lori Scharf is an ombudsman specialist and the volunteer coordinator for our area, and Phil Brewer is a board member and a very active volunteer. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
We'll start with you, Phil. First of all, what's the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Office do?
We basically are advocates for people who are in long-term care facilities like nursing homes, assisted livings, adult care facilities.
If somebody has a problem, they're not sure about the care they're getting, can they call, and what happens?
They can call our office, and someone will investigate that complaint.
All right. What about education? Is that part of the deal?
We provide education for people who work in nursing homes so that they know what their responsibilities are with respect to their residents.
I often get questions, about where should I go for help? What's the best nursing home? What's the best home care? Will you help advise people on those kinds of issues?
Yes, we provide selection assistance. So if people have someone that they care about that needs a place like a nursing home, they can call our office and we would provide them that assistance.
Lori, let's go to you. Somebody has a complaint. They call, you investigate. Tell us about the process. What goes on?
Well, we are a resident-driven organization. So when someone calls in with a complaint, whether it be the resident themselves, a family member, or it could even be someone from the facility who's very concerned about one of their residents, we go out and we talk to the resident that's involved because we need their consent before we can proceed.
There is a law that gives people certain rights. Are you the people that will help them make sure that their rights are followed?
There are 32 client rights, patient rights that they are entitled to, and whether you're in a nursing home facility, in an assisted living, or in adult care, all of those are grounded by federal law and state law, and we enforce those laws.
All right, so if somebody's violating, if one of the nursing homes or home care folks are violating the law, what kind of action can you do?
We're not an enforcement agency, but we do investigate and we do propose changes that need to be made. If it's perhaps that we need to educate the staff on that rule and make sure that it's put in place, that's what we do.
And I've seen situations, you'll even fight with the nursing home or with the home care if you have to. I mean, you'll argue. You'll say this has to be done.
We will, and the case is not done once the facility says we'll put this action in place. We always do a follow-up to make sure that what they say really happens.
Phil, what's your experience when you go to a facility or you go to a home care provider and you say, you got to make a change here? What kind of reception do you get?
For the most part, they want what's best for their residents, and they're usually pretty cooperative.
Good. And Lori, is it only when you have a problem that you talk to these folks at the nursing homes and home care, or do you have ongoing conversations?
We have ongoing conversations. We need to be a presence in each of the facilities in the 5-county area. So we make a minimum of 2 advocacy visits a year, but we're out there making sure that they know who the ombudsman is and what we can do for them.
And you know, a lot of the focus is often on nursing homes, but you'll deal with home care providers as well, right?
Home care providers, Passport, adult care facilities, assisted livings, nursing homes.
And we have a whole chart here on the screen of the sorts of things you'll advocate for.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you both very much. We could talk for a lot longer, but the information is important for people to know. We're going to give a phone number. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The services of the long-term care ombudsman, they are invaluable, and they're free of charge. That's very important. So if you or a loved one need assistance, don't hesitate to call them. The number's coming up next. My thanks to Lori and Phil for joining us today.
For help and information, call the Long-Term Care Ombudsman's Office at 800-365-3112 or visit their website, www.ltco.org. Next, a course in crafting. But first, weather and computers both can drive us crazy. Maybe that's why the main name of the first mainframe for weather research was an outrageous acronym. Can you tell us its title? We'll see whether or not you're right when we return.
We're Gateway Title, keeping life simple. We can make it simple. We've got everything you need. See how easy selling your home can be. We're Gateway Title. We're keeping life simple.
The first computer used for weather research was called a MANIAC. That crazy acronym actually stood for Mathematical Analyzer, Numerical Integrator, and Computer. And you can be sure that it was just wild about weather.
So what can you do with that box of old buttons that you've accumulated? They're not trash, they're a treasure. Those buttons can become a beautiful bracelet, for example, and creative goddess Vicki Odell is here to button down the details and show us how to round out your wardrobe with buttons. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you got this pile of buttons here.
Yeah,
We have
I do.
piles in our house. What do you do with buttons?
A lot of people do. I have a can there, and I also have a company that I deal with that sells buttons, and they're already sorted by color. So if you know you wanted to do one, say, for the 4th of July holiday, you could do one red, white, and blue.
All these buttons. Think of all these
I know.
shirts that these fell off of. So now, you know, where did they come from? I know they come from my shirt, but where else?
Sometimes I'll go into the thrift store and I'll see a blouse that I really like the buttons on, so I'll buy the blouse just so that I can have the buttons. And I do
All
just
right.
different sorts of mixed media artwork with it.
All right, so tell us, what do we do? Come on, let's get
Okay,
to the,
it's super
let's get to
easy.
the uses for the buttons.
Okay, so
All
first
these
here we
millions
have
of
a
buttons.
7.5-inch charm bracelet. Okay, so it's already got the clasp on for you and everything.
Okay.
And then you need 2 pair of flat nose pliers.
All right.
You're going to do this with me, right?
Maybe.
Okay. And on the inside they're smooth so that they don't bend the wire.
Okay.
And they kind of spring back so they're not hard on your hands. So this is a jump ring, and this is a 7mm jump ring. And it fits most of these kind of small size buttons.
All right, little
so
buttons.
you
Okay,
need a
got it.
jump ring,
All right, I need one of
and
these.
there's a little split in it.
Okay, I can't
and-
even hold it. All right.
The right way to open a jump ring is to give it a little twist. You don't want to pull it apart because then it's hard to get it round again.
Mine's not opening.
Here,
I can't
2,
even do this.
one on each side,
This is terrible.
and then twist it open.
All right, I got it now. Look at this. I did it.
Good job.
Da-da-da!
So then you just slip the button on,
Okay,
just like so.
all right. It's on.
Okay, and then we're going to put it on the bracelet,
Okay.
just like so. We're just going to slip that in there.
This is so easy, right?
It is. And then we're going to close it.
Okay. I can get that.
You can do that.
No, I can't.
usually, yes, you can.
I don't
I
think
usually
so.
leave a couple of links empty at the end so you can get in and open and close it.
I don't think my button's staying on very good. But
Uh-oh.
oh,
It's okay.
perfect!
You
Ta-da!
did it.
Okay. All right.
So then you just want to make sure they're closed all the way so they don't snag on your clothing.
Where do you get all this? I mean, these other things like this bracelet and these.
On my website, I will have a list of supplies that we used and
Okay.
links out to places where you can get them and directions. There'll be another video showing kind of close up how we put this all together,
All right.
and everything will be there for you.
Does it matter about color? I mean, is that important?
No, I thought this would be
Mix
fun for
them
like
or same
the
colors. Does
a
it matter?
barbecue this summer. 4th of July, wear it to the fireworks.
Okay, so
But
if
you
I
can do whatever.
if I do this and I stick these buttons on here like this, it's going to end up looking like those.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can show what a finished version looks like. Look at this. Oh my God, I did this myself, right?
You did.
Yeah,
And it
right.
didn't take you any time at all.
And you can too. Well, thank you. This is very good. So you have a website. It's going to show people where they can go to get the supplies and how to.
And they can use
and how to
family
do
heirlooms
buttons
or
and-
things from somebody who passed maybe
It must
recently.
be nice, actually,
or
with,
new ones.
With family heirlooms, it must make a great memory for people.
It does. It does.
That's very nice. This is what Grandma used to wear on her shirt.
Right. Yeah.
Not bad.
That's nice, huh?
It's very nice. Okay, so button up your outfit. No, not because it's cold, but because your button bracelet can add a great accent. For more details, visit Vicki's website. We're going to give it to you. It's coming up next. My thanks to Vicki Odell for sharing this fascinating craft with us, and we'll be right back.
For more ideas, visit www.vickyodell.com. Next, the caretaking of your currency. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Set out on a safari to snag the best snapshot. The Cleveland Metro Park Zoo's annual photo contest is going on now through November 1st. It's easy to click and shoot. Just fill out an entry form and then take your best shot on zoo grounds. Capture more information by calling 216-661-6500 or trek to www.clemetzoo.com.
You've looked at retirement options, you've planned well, you've invested wisely, and yet you can hear it tick, tick, tick of a time bomb. That time bomb is healthcare costs, and they could explode, blowing up your retirement plans. To defuse this bomb, we've brought in our own bomb squad, Jim Lineweaver. Jim's a financial planner with the Lineweaver Financial Group. Thanks for joining us today, Jim.
My pleasure.
All right, so healthcare costs, we know that they can be huge. They can really affect our retirement in bad ways. How much should we be saving on a monthly basis leading up?
This is
to
big.
cover
You
health.
really have got to have some way to bridge this gap in retirement, because if you retire early before Medicare kicks in, you could be looking at $1,000, $1,500 a month. So it's a huge expense. As a matter of fact,
Some
Fidelity.
people don't even get 1,000 or
Right,
1,500.
from Social Security or
Right.
anything, right. But when it happens, so it's a huge problem. And back in 2002, Fidelity did a study and said on average you need about $160,000 saved just for healthcare costs. And today,
Wow.
that number is up to $250,000. So that's
Wow.
about a 56% increase.
So a lot of retired seniors, are they still covered by previous employers' health insurance?
Sometimes they can be, and this is what you really have to weigh. If you obviously are before age 65 and you need to get the health insurance, see what your company offers, because a lot of times you're still in a group pool, lower benefits can really work extremely well.
Good.
And hopefully they offer that benefit. If not, you got to get out there on your own, see if there's some other associations you can join to. But you're really trying to bridge the gap until age 65 when you can qualify for Medicare.
Right, so if you don't have an employer that's going to offer health care coverage, then where are you?
Look at your spouse, see if you can pick up spousal coverage, and gosh forbid if you jump on their plan, which a lot of people have the luxury of doing, unfortunately they would lose their job too before you turn 65. You do have a provision in there where you might be able to go back on another plan. So look at any community service organizations you can join, possibly if you have some business out there that you think you might be able to generate a few dollars on, try to go through Cozy or something like that. that. Try to do whatever means you can to try to get some type of group coverage out there.
And there's a whole lot of solutions you've been collecting and putting together. Can you give us a list?
Yeah, there's several, one of which is in our special report. And this is a report that we put together for police and firemen, but it applies to a lot of different industries, because in here it does reference something from the 2006 Tax Act where some companies and employees are able to benefit and get a tax deduction for their health insurance. So that's one of them. There's also a lot of different ways that you can do it. We mentioned Cozy, we mentioned some other options, but you really have to look into this. And one thing I want to mention to people on this Medicare issue is that even if you're working in the public sector, make sure you get your 40 credits in with Social Security, because if you don't, when you get to Medicare at 65, you may be paying an additional $200 or $300 a month because you didn't get enough credits in. So make sure you get enough credits even if you're not in the Social Security system.
We talked about group coverage. Do you look at different groups that you've belonged to over the years? Do you have to belong to a group today? What is there any benefit there, solution there?
Yes, anytime, and you can go through usually your community centers or any type of organization that you've belonged to in the past. Sometimes unions have them, engineering societies have them, a lot of different things where you can just get that collective rate to try to lower the cost as opposed to just an individual plan.
And sometimes people actually go back to work just because they needed some health, and they need to get health insurance.
Unfortunately, they do. They can't retire because of it, and some people don't even retire because of it.
Wow.
Until after age 65.
Well, I looked at the report. Very helpful. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Thanks for your tips.
My pleasure.
Time's ticking away. Tick, 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 tick. And failure to plan for health care costs in retirement could blow up in your face. For help, talk to Jim or get a copy of his free special report on the myths and realities of Ohio police and fire retirement, but it goes to everybody. Give him a call. His number's up next.
To find out more, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Next, a civil conversation about the war between the North and the South. It's time to get up and go, an exercise minute on Golden Opportunities.
I'm Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we are going to do alternating dumbbell curls to work our biceps. This is going to help us pick up boxes or whatever we need. You ready to go, Armand?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Standing with our feet about shoulder width apart, elbows into our sides, we're going to curl one of the dumbbells up and twist it. Very good. Come down nice and slow. And let's do it again. Slow, controlled movements. Perfect. And the other side. One. There you go. And back down.
If you make a face, it's better, too.
That makes it better? Okay. All right, good job, Armand. Looking good. Nice, good posture. Excellent. All right.
And this helps you lift boxes, right?
It helps you lift boxes. Anything we need to pick up, we'll be able to pick it up with our nice, strong arms.
I say get your kids to do it.
Get your kids to do it. Okay. All right, everybody. Now it's your turn.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
This year marks the 150th anniversary of the war between the states, the Civil War. And while the battles rage on through historic reenactments, we felt it was time to have a civil discussion about the Civil War. Joining me are Barb Whidden, Adult Education Director for the Lake County History Center, and Larry Disbrow, a board member at the center, as well as an historical interpreter. Thanks for joining us, both of you today.
Thank you for having us.
And I love your
Thank you.
clothing.
Thank you.
Larry, let's start with you. Should I call you General Jack Casement? And why have you camped on our set today?
Thank you. Please call me General Jack. All my friends call me General Jack.
Okay.
Next weekend, June 18th and 19th, our History Center becomes a living history textbook. We will be commemorating the beginning of the Civil War, basically, and which was, in my opinion, the defining moment of what makes the American people what we are today. We'll have reenactments, both the 18th and 19th, and what's unique about these two reenactments is that they'll be staged in a border town between Virginia and Maryland. and it'll be militia from the Virginia, and that'll be dressed in blue, and there'll be federal militia dressed in blue as well, and you'll have...
What happened to the gray?
Well, that doesn't happen common. Actually, most of the Confederate uniforms were butternut anyway, but at that time there was no standard uniform for either side at that point. And you'll see citizens complaining and arguing the issues. You'll see citizens shooting each other. You'll see the medical staff jump in.
Why did they used to fight standing, right in the open in lines? I never understood that completely.
It was all due to technology. Most battles or wars prior to the Civil War used Napoleonic tactics, and using smooth-bore weapons. What would happen is, as I try to tell students, is that shoot a smooth-bore weapon and the ball comes out like a knuckleball.
So you had to have a lot of people shooting.
So you had to have a lot of people shooting at one target. And
I would still hide behind a tree or something.
Yeah, right.
All right, Barb, the battle sounds big, but there's more than just the reenactment
there's
of
lots
a
more
battle.
than just the battles.
Okay, tell us.
There will be something for everyone, for all ages. We will have music. There will be a Civil War commissary, if you will. So there will be refreshments of goober pies for children, pot pies for adults, the usual things that people enjoy when they come to something like this, as well as when they go into the house. There are 10 rooms of exhibits. We have a morning room that is it just is a very sobering time to reflect upon the things that these people went through.
What about if you want to bring your grandkids?
The
things for them to
grandkids
do?
can text when they come, because we have the first texting machine, which is a telegraph, and they will see how they communicated. That's the only way that they could communicate. They didn't have internet and text phones, but they did have the telegraph.
Can the kids dress up like you guys?
Absolutely.
Oh,
and it'd
that'd
be a
be
great
fun.
Christmas card.
All right, now, I assume there's a lot of history that we can learn by going to something like this?
Absolutely.
And will there be people available like the two of you to talk
Absolutely.
about
There'll be docents throughout the museum. There'll be docents out in the grounds, and of course the enactments. The people that are participating will be happy to answer questions.
You shoot off any
engage them.
artillery?
we have Napoleons coming in, and hopefully some Parrott rifles as well, and a Gatling gun.
And
a Gatling
some
gun,
cavalry,
yes.
and some cavalry, and
Absolutely.
All right, now for my purposes, when I go to something like this, most important, you mentioned the commissary. Tell me about food.
we will have a Father's Day breakfast with the troops on Father's Day. So we would love for people to come. It's $10 for adults, $5 for seniors and students. And there will also be an interdenominational church service morning, Sunday morning at 10:30. We're easy to get to right off of Route 90 out to 44. Head north and follow the signs out to the Lake County Historical
Just
Society.
north of Riverside High School.
And this is a big deal. It's my
It is a
understanding
big
people
deal.
come from all over the
Yes,
country
they
for
do.
this thing. That's really amazing. This is on Father's Day.
On
Well, it's the
day
Saturday before Father's
Saturday
Day
before
and
Father's Day.
Father's
Okay,
Day.
great,
Father's Day,
great.
correct.
All right, and just so our people know, how much does it cost?
Well, it'll set you back. On the
$6.
general admission for the 2 days is $6 for adults,
great.
$5 for teens and seniors, and then $3 for students. And then if you're coming to the pancake breakfast, which we really encourage people, it's $10, $8, and $5, and that will not only be the breakfast, but you also can enjoy the day's activities.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you so much for giving us all this
Thank you.
information. We appreciate it. This historical event is a chance to experience history live and in person. So pack up your old kit bag and hit the dusty trail to discover the sights, sounds, and smells of the Civil War. My thanks to Larry and Barb for joining us today.
For more information, call the Lake County History Center at 440-639-2945 or click to www.lakehistory.org. Next, when a smaller benefit can add thousands to your retirement.
Welcome to Breckenridge Village, a continuing care retirement community conveniently located in historic Willoughby, Ohio. Whether it's a luxury apartment, a spacious ranch home, or newly built brownstones, it's all here with the added security of knowing more care is available when you need it. Breckenridge Village offers an exciting and upbeat lifestyle, and the food is fabulous, and our staff makes you their #1 priority. Learn more about Breckenridge Village and come see our new Veal Wellness and Aquatic Center.
Did you miss any of the phone numbers we gave? Then get a pen and paper because we're going to list all the numbers again from our guests so you can have more time to write them down. And then I'll be back to tell you how a restricted application can open up ways to get more money from your Social Security. A couple weeks back, Lori Steiner told us about how to increase our Social Security benefits using a little-known technique called file and suspend. Today, she's back with another great way to maximize our benefits using a restricted application. And, by the way, Lori's my law partner. Thanks for joining me, Lori.
Hi, Armin.
All right, so tell us when we can use a restricted application.
Okay, well, let's say we have, normally a husband would file on his benefits and a wife would take off for his. As a spouse. But sometimes it pays to file early and maybe get some spousal benefits off of the lower earning spouse of the couple. So let me kind of tell you how that works.
Okay.
So first, let's say the husband reached his full retirement age at 66. He earned more than his wife and he would get higher benefits than she would. But if he doesn't take his benefits, it's going to increase about 8% a year. So he wants to hold off.
Okay.
So instead, the wife is 62, she files for early benefits, and he files a spousal claim on her earnings record. So he's getting some immediate Social Security benefits.
All right.
Ultimately, when he turns 70 and then he files for real benefits, he can increase up to his full retirement benefits for waiting that long, and she can switch over and get spousal benefits off of his higher earnings then.
So sometimes it makes sense for the higher earning spouse to start benefits on the lower earning spouse's work record.
Sounds crazy, but it can work.
All right. Thank you, Lori. Great tip. Appreciate it. Social Security is a complicated program, and sometimes not everything makes sense. Too many people are shy in retiring and just apply for their benefits without understanding the full range of their rights, and then they lose money. Don't let that happen to you. Keep watching Golden Opportunities. We'll give you the best and latest tips and advice. We'll be right back.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information. Or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us. Make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.